Welcome everyone! In this video we'll go over the steps and the best tips to craft the Legend of the EAST Satchel as fast as possible in chapter 2. To do so we will gear up with some free weapons, get ourselves some gold, open the ledger, and capitalize on the best hunting spot. The starting satchel capacity is limited to mostly 5 items max for each of them, which becomes limiting quite quickly and can prevent you from looting and acquiring certain items while playing. Thus, acquiring the Legend of the EAST Satchel being a good idea at the start of chapter 2, as it will allow you to carry 99 of anything with you at any time. To craft any satchel, you will need to talk to Pearson. Two options are there for you: donate, which allow you to give Pearson the pelts and carcasses needed for crafting, and the crafting upgrade option where you can see the various camp upgrade as well as the different satchel Pearson can craft for you. Each satchel has a particular requirement to unlock as well as a specific pelts requirement. For this guide we aim on getting the Legend of the East, which requires to craft all the other ones. So we're going to try to be efficient and combine some of those requirements to make our life easier. For specific hunting location, all the timestamp will be in the description down below. First thing first, arriving in chapter 2 you will have to do at least 2 story missions to be able to craft any satchel. The first one is the Javier Escuela one in Valentine named Americans at Rest. Now what we need is some money and rifles. Money first. We're going to the infamous Limpany village, just south of camp. Heading to the sheriff office, just open the locked box under the desk to acquire a gold bar that will exchange for 500 bots in a bit. But since we're close to camp still, we're going to ride on the road towards Flatnet Station. There you should trigger the random event with our new best friend, Norbert. Norbert is great, because if you help him, he will gift you a free rifle from the Valentine Gunsmith in 2 in-game days or so. So save Norbert. Next step, we want to go to one of the open fences at that point, the one at Emerald Ranch being locked beyond the story mission. The closest one is in Rhodes. If you haven't been to Rhodes yet and don't know where it is, just go to Valentine. You won't be able to grab the stagecoach to a destination you haven't been yet, but you can certainly take the train. Just grab a train ticket and you will automatically reach your destination. Once there, you just need to reach the fence at the northern part of the town, and there you can sell your gold bar for 500 bucks. You can also sell some other valuable for some cash, but you need to remember to keep at least 3 pieces of jewelry, watches or belt buckles to give to the thieving bots to unlock the kid's satchel. If you don't have any of those, you can loot them from dead enemies. So at that point you can go around and acquire them. Also needed will be some flight feathers that you can get from plotting any birds. So make sure to get yourself some, just by shooting birds along the way. They don't need to be 3 stars or anything, so it's an easy task. Once the Javier mission is completed, the mission money landing and other things will be available at camp to open the ledger, as well as the Auger mission, which is a good one to do as it opens the stables, but not necessary for the satchel crafting. Talking to Leopold, he will send you to collect some money that then landed to 3 different people, and you will have to choose between one of the 3 dead to collect, or do them all if you fancy it. The easiest by proxy is the LS1 on the minimap. Going there, just trigger the mission by entering the house. Side note, once done, you can also steal the Hungarian half-bred from the stable on your left. Going back to camp, you can give the money back and this will open the ledger, where you can buy some camp upgrade, like the provision and medicine wagon, as well as buying the also important leather working tools for Pearson. At that point, you don't have to collect the other debt to go on, it's up to you. What you can do now is wait or sleep at camp until you roughly reach the 2 in-game days since you saved Norbert. Going to Valentine and heading to the Gunsmith, you will find Norbert on the bench in front of the shop, where he will reward you with anything from the shop by putting it on his tab. And looking at the catalog with the various weapons unlocked, going with the Springfield Rifle is one of the best choices. To make it easier to hunt, you can also upgrade the various components available. Adding a scope is also a great idea to be able to shoot animals more easily from a greater distance. And don't forget to get yourself some ammo too. The second gun you want to get, and that you will have to pay for if you don't have the ultimate version of the game, is the Varmite Rifle. Once again, upgrading the various components and getting the scope will greatly help, as well as stocking up on ammo. You will also want to get some arrows and shotgun shell to craft some small game arrows. Now going back to camp, we're going to unlock some of the satchel. Going to the titting box, you can give at least 3 valuables like jewelry, watch, belt buckle, and a total amount of 50 bolts gifted. Going to the ledger, you can buy the leather working tools for 180 bolts, as well as upgrading the medicine wagon twice for 24 and 40 bolts respectively, and upgrading the provision wagon twice for 24 bolts and 36 bolts respectively. Going to the scout fire at the back of the camp, you can craft 3 recipes. Depending what you have on hand, you can mismatch them, as long as you craft 3 of them. And then we will need 5 carcasses to unlock the ingredient satchel that we will acquire as we're hunting. Carcasses can be any animal that you store on your horse. Generally 1 large on the back, like a deer or a pronghorn, and 2 medium, 1 on each side of your saddle, like rabbits and turkeys. And small animals like squirrel, toads, and small birds can be stored in your satchel. At any time you can craft some small game arrows with some flight feather and shotgun shell. And now the fun begins. Not far from camp, in the heartlands, is where you will find plenty of deers and bucks. Pro tip number 1 is to make sure you study each species you come across via a scoped rifle or your binoculars. Apart from adding to your compendium, it also allows you to see how many stars each individual is when tracking or pointing at them, making it easier to find and hunt a 3-star one. Once you spotted the 3-star ones, you need to make sure you get a clean shot, preferably to the head, to not mess up the pelt. You can use deadeye to tag an animal head, or you can stop it from further away if you haven't stared it first. On still, you can skin the buck and store the pelt on your horse. You can then go around the heartlands and hunt some more deer. You will need 7 of them total, but the good thing is that they are everywhere, along the Dakota River and in Beaver Valley too, where we will head later on. So every time you see a small herd, take the time to look for 3 stars. The complete list of all the pelts you'll need to hunt for every satchel will be in the description below the video. All around the map, you will also find plenty of rabbits, and the Heartlands is no exception. You can track animal by going into Eagle Eye and focus on the 3-star one if you see one. Then for smaller animal, you will need to use the Varmite Rifle to make sure you don't destroy the pelt. And on shot, you can skin it or store it on your saddle. East of the Heartlands oil field is where you can find the Bison herd. Once again, make sure to study one individual to help you spot the 3-star one. Just scan the herd until you find the perfect one and go for her headshot. Bisons, like elks, bears, gators, and others, are large animals that need to be skinned, and their pelt being used can only be stored one at a time on your horse. So it's always a good idea to go back to camp and deliver it to person as soon as you can to free up your horse for potential more big pelts. Arriving at camp, you can just hitch your horse and go directly to person. You don't need to remove any carcasses or pelt from your horse. Then you just need to donate the relevant pelts and carcasses to person. Going to the crafting upgrade, you can see what pelts you donated and which one are left for you to acquire. Next, we'll go do some hunting on the road to Strawberry and Iguana Lake to end our trip in Beaver Valley. Riding or taking the train to Rhodes Station, you will find plenty of squirrels around this area. You will have to use some small game arrows to hunt those, if you want to keep the carcasses in perfect condition. West of Strawberry, along the banks of Iguana Lake, is where you'll find beavers all around. For beavers, you will need to use your Varmite Rifle and try to stop them from a distance before they swim away. You can use Eagle Eye while stopping the animal if that helps you, and a headshot will do the trick. Going up the road from Iguana Lake, make a manual save when you're near the lake, as we're going Cougar Hunting near Blackbone Forest, and we will need to be able to reload the game close by if the cougar that spawns isn't a perfect one. Cougars being sneaky, you may not have the chance to study them before they jump you. So you will have to try to shoot first, if you want to survive the encounter. If you stun the animal and you realize it's just a 1 or 2 star animal, just reload your save, and head back up the road until you kill a 3-star one. It may take 2 or 3 tries to get a perfect one, but this exercise isn't too tedious. Still in the Blackburn Forest, you can also find raccoons around this area. Like rabbits, you will need to shoot them with a Varmite Rifle. And you can skin them or stow them on your saddle. Near the trapper and in the Blackburn Forest area, you can find plenty of boars roaming around, normally in group of 3. You can spot them and track a perfect one until you can get a good shot. Continuing the journey in Beat Valley, along the Little Creek River, you can find more deers, as well as elks, and sometimes wolves. You will need 2 elk pelts in total, so you will have to come back for a second one later on, as you can only store 1 pelt on your horse at any time, or use a second horse. Going west of Rhodes, on the banks of Flat Iron Lake, we're going to do some swimming to reach the biggest island there. If you can't find a boat, you can go on with your horse and should be able to make it easily. And a shot of horse stimulant will ensure smooth sailing if your horse has lower stamina stat. Once on the island, you will find plenty of small animals like toads and crabs that you can collect for Bison. But the main reason we went to that island is to reach the small bay on the western side, the territory of Iguana. And as always, you just need to spot a 3-star one, and with your Varmite Rifle, take the shot. If you don't feel like swimming back to the mainland, you can just save and reload your game. This will teleport you right back on the coast. Going south of Rhodes, past Boulder Glade, we're going to make a save at that crossroad. We're going to enter Panther territory, and as the Cougars, they are sneaky and deadly. You can scan the area west of the road to see if you can spot one, or just ride through until you see a red dot on your minimap. Alternatively, there's a link in the info card to a Panther hunting guide. If the Panther there isn't a 3-star one, just reload your game until you spot or are attacked by a perfect one. Going just south of Rhodes, at Boulder Glade, you should be able to spot in the open or along the road some badgers going around. And using your Varmite Rifle, you should be able to kill a 3-star one without spoiling the pelt. If you haven't been attacked by wolves by then or triggered a random encounter with an NPC getting attacked by them, you can reach Lake Isabella, passing by Barrow Lagoon. At the lagoon, you may see some wolves attacking a brown bear. If not, just continue your way to Lake Isabella. There you will probably see or be attacked by wolves. And a good shot with a Springfield Rifle should do the trick. Another random encounter happening in this area also involves wolves attacking an NPC. Make sure you take a good headshot, and at least one of them should be a 3-star one. Going back to camp, we can now give the last pelts and carcasses to Bison and craft all of the satchels. A deer, a buck, and an elk for the Tonic Satchel. A deer, a badger, and a squirrel for the ingredient satchel. A deer, an elk, and a panther for the kid satchel. A deer, a bison, and a raccoon for the provision satchel. A deer, a boar, and an iguana for the material satchel. A deer, a beaver, and a rabbit for the valuable satchel. And finally, this will unlock the legend of the EAST Satchel that can be crafted with a deer, a cougar, and a wolf. Note that once they are all crafted, their perks transfer to all the other satchel, meaning it doesn't matter which satchel Archer is carrying. You will be able to get 99 of everything until crafted the last satchel. I hope that video has been useful, and until next time, see ya!